All right. Not much of a break there. We're back at it here at Strokers in Palm Harbor, continuing coverage of the U.S. Amateur Championship. This matchup featuring Abe Shaad and Mike Leigh. Saw the lag. Abe does not wait around.
No.
Realized he was not close on the lag, and he's going to concede it to Mike Leigh. So let's flip that real quick.
Okay.
I'll flip this for you.
And it is not displayed now, so no rush. There we go.
All right. Race to 7. Mike will have the break here. Once again, starting in the 8-ball set. Both these players undefeated thus far. Let's see, 5 games of 8-ball up to 8 games of 9-ball. This is the final matchup of unbeatens. One of these players will advance to, wow, look at that break. One of these players is going to advance to the final from here. The other will have to work their way back through the 1-loss bracket.
Yeah, really nice break other than letting the cue ball go to the end rail. It just lessens your options there once you get down there.
Mike is out of Ontario, Canada. Been in this event 3 times, has finished as high as 13th. Looks like he's been to Vegas quite a few times to our events.
He got a tough opening shot here, and he pulls it off. That's a great way to start. That'll make him feel good getting into this. Both of these guys have been playing some awesome pool all weekend. Both of them play pretty quickly.
Which we like. We like that. From
so don't look away.
Viewership standpoint. I know the viewers appreciate that.
Right.
They like to get right to it.
Now, he can make this ball, but I think he needs to put a little bit of right-hand English on it to help it go into the hole for him. Because of this, the ball in front of the 6 ball is a little in the way, making him overcut it. So when you overcut it, you can counter that by putting a little bit of right, in this case, a little bit of right-hand English on it to help it carry it toward the pocket. I believe he has to do that, but I'm not sure. Needs to make sure he gets shape on the next ball, though. And that would be the 4 into the other corner next, looks like. Went a little bit far coming off of the rail. Looks like he was planning on staying on close to the rail over there next to probably the first diamond, just to the left of the corner pocket, and then playing the 4 in the other corner pocket. But and he can still do that, but he's going to send the cue ball back and forth, a little bit wild. I think that's what he's going to try. He's just got to be really careful not to scratch in one of the corner pockets here. Oh, man, that was so close to being perfect.
I'm going to look at Abe Shaad here. Abe surveying the table.
Looks like he's looking at what it takes to play safe down there. That worries me a little bit for him because I think that his opponent will be able to kick out of this and possibly Well, no, no. That's what he was looking at, I think, is putting him in a place where he had no kick at this ball because the from this angle, the A stripe is in the way, and also the side pocket is in the way over there for him to hit the rail where it needs to go. But he can come kick one rail down here just to the left of those pieces of chalk, and then right English would send it into the 4 ball.
Mike wanted to give a shout out to his parents, Steve and Shirley, and his brother Nick. Tuning in from Ontario.
Now we'll see whether he's playing all out safe or trying to make something happen. If according to how hard he hits it, if he hits it kind of firm here, then he's trying to make it. Otherwise, he's wanting to play safe, and that could have, if that had clipped the 9 ball really thinly, it could have gone on down into the corner pocket. And actually, he got a little bit fortunate now that the 9 and the 8 ended up together because that will complicate Abe's run out.
Abe from Peoria, Illinois. First appearance in the U.S. Amateur Championship. 26 years old. Said he wants to be the top amateur player in the world.
And the way he's
This is where
going,
it
he can get
starts.
there. If he
Yeah.
gets much better than this. Uh-oh, watch out, side pocket. Came pretty close to it. But he knew that the speed was good. He wasn't worried about it scratching. And he went ahead and took care of that problem I was pointing out earlier of the limitations of that 9 ball.
We'll see if we can get you guys an update on that James Adams. James.
That was the worst shot he's shot the whole time he's been on the TV channel, I think. On the TV table. He just well, he hit a little bit lower or a little bit higher. I don't know whether he was playing for the 10 ball in the side next, which I think he was, but he hooked himself from all 3 of his remaining stripes. You will not see that kind of mistake from these 2 players very often. So he'll be a little frustrated with that, but he'll resize and get her done.
Henry Brote and James Adams tied 5-5 on the bonus stream. Again, that's over on our YouTube channel. Henry has the break in that match. The winner of that match will face Brian Parks.
Mm-hmm.
No easy path from here on out here at the U.S. Amateur Championship. Started with 128 players. We are down to a very select few.
Not just players, but great players. I mean, everybody to get here is they're top-notch players.
Essentially down to just 5 now.
Good shot. He really wanted to be on the rail a little bit further. Where he could not, whereas Abe would not have a shot on this corner pocket. It's a tough shot, but Abe is a really straight shooter, and he should make this ball, but he didn't. May not have to pay for it. May not. Let's see. So you have a corner. You can't really tell if he. It looks to me like Mike has the opportunity to pocket this ball into the corner and come nicely, naturally back out for the 8 into the same corner. But if the way Abe played earlier is indicative of how he might play in this match. I can see the two errors that he made coming back and making him play much stronger for the rest of this match, because he did that earlier in a match. Natural shape back to the 8 off the end rail. One thing you might think that Mike takes a long time to shoot, or he took too long that time or something, but that is his normal pace. He once he gets over the ball, he does typically stay down quite a bit.
Mike's out to a 1-0 lead in this race to 7. He will have the break. Looks like he's talking to us on camera.
It does, yeah.
He said, "How do you like that?" Again, they're going to play 5 games of 8-ball, and then they'll switch over to the 9-ball set. So we got 4 to go here.
The winner of this match's next match will be a race to 11.
In the finals, that's right.
Just about scratched.
So one way or another, we will be seeing a new face in our final round. Neither of these players having ever made it to the final. I know Mike's been here before. First time for Abe. Abe at the table currently.
Looks like he's going to start by taking the 10 into the side pocket, but you have to really overcut that ball though, because he was forced to put right English on the cue ball, and that carries it a little bit left, and so you overcut it. Need to for it to go into the pocket for you. He really needed to push that 9-ball all the way past the 6, because it's in trouble now where it's sitting. He'll be able to get it out when he makes the pink stripe up there, but still, he's just got some work to do. Yeah, that's. I don't know that he has a decent shot from here. Yeah, I think he could see the 15 in the corner. He's also got the 13, but then that doesn't bring any decent shape for him after that. Yeah, he held that ball nicely, closer to the side rail. He's probably asking to get somebody to watch this, because I don't think it's necessary, because it'll be clear that he hits the pink stripe first. But he'll want to hit this and then disturb the 6-9, getting the 9 away from there where he can make it in just a moment. Very nice recovery from his earlier putting the 9 not as far as he'd like. Good recovery. Yeah, he would expect to make this ball almost every time. It's just a matter of he kind of pushed it into the rail there. But but I just bet you if he shot that 99 more times, he'd make it all 99. It's just really a high percentage shot for an upper level player. Only have one piece of chalk on the table now. They had three or four earlier. I'm a little surprised that he shot that shot there instead of a more a shot that would hold him up there for the 4 or the 7. But because it was a little risky, I thought going down there and possibly fooling with the 15 and getting messed up with it. Yeah, he's trying to figure out where. I think at this point, where am I going to make the 8 ball? And then he's got to kind of work his way back from there. If I'm going to make the 8 in this pocket, what ball do I have? What ball is going to get me there to the place where I need to make the? That makes it easy for me to put the 8 in that pocket. Okay, so now you can stop the cue ball right where it's at. I think. Make the 4 in the corner and stop the cue ball. I think right where it's at, and then just follow it up to where he's putting his tip. Yeah. I really like his routine of going up there and seeing right where do I need it, and then he's visualizing it, and he'll send the cue ball to the. Look how close he is to right where he had his stick a moment ago. Really close. And if you don't get up there and visualize it first, you might go quite a bit one way or the other.
Abe pockets the 8 ball, ties this match up at 1 game apiece. Again, this is a race to 7. This will be the 3rd game of the 8 ball set, 3 of 5.
And I'm unable to monitor the Facebook much, the stream here and see the comments and all. So uh, it's because it's hard to do that and analyze this match at the same time. But I did have a moment to look, and I'd like to say hey to Joe Johnson and Terry Middleton. I mean, Tommy, sorry, Tommy. Tommy Middleton, I see you're logged in out there. Howdy. And hey to everybody else.
Yeah, appreciate all the folks tuning in, taking some time on your busy Sundays. Hopefully, your relaxing Sundays to take in some of this year's U.S. Amateur Championship.
Yeah.
Final
Joe
day.
Johnson is here, so he's probably relaxing on the beach up there next to the hotel. But I think I might have seen him here earlier today. Yeah, that really frustrates you to make a good break like that and scratching the side. It just it happens so often. But you break what looks like a really good break, and then your cue ball goes into the side pocket.
Score on Henry and James match. Let's see. Looks like Henry's up 6-5. And that is a matchup of on the 1-loss side of the bracket. So one of those players will advance, the other will exit the tournament. Henry Broad, three-time former champion. James Adams, very strong player from here in the Tampa area. We've seen him out at our pool player championships in the past.
He looks a little in between shots here. Unless that 4 passes freely, I know the way he's bending down, looking at it just to make sure, that's a little scary to me that it might clip the 13. So it will not go in the pocket if it clips the 13 at all. And normally these guys' cue ball placement is superb, but right then he came up. Unless the 4 goes easily, which I don't think it does, or he would have already shot it probably. But let's see. Maybe it just goes in just fine, in which case he'll follow the cue ball up for the 2. Yeah, he was fine. He was just throwing some suspense out there for us. Trying to make me say the wrong thing.
Sounds like both these players have some friends and family back in their hometowns tuning in, some of them from their home pool room. So give a shout out to all those folks that are rooting on your hometown player here. Appreciate you tuning in. I know they do as well.
Yeah. And he did a couple of things right there. One is that he used the 10 ball to stop the cue ball, and the other thing was he moved the 10 away from the super easy shot into the side pocket. So, yeah, draw it to this rail. No, okay. He's going for the corner. It looked at first to me like he was trying to cut that in the side, and the path of the cue ball would have been completely different. So, again, I missaw what he was doing. This will be a nice, the way the cue ball travels around for shape on the 5 into the same pocket that the 3 goes into here, into the corner, I think. Yeah. Looks to me like he'll make the 3 in the corner, send the cue ball around close to the side pocket on the left side there, and then it'll just come around 2 more rails after that for shape into the corner. He's still got his work cut out, though, to make sure that when he makes the 5 into the corner, that he runs into the – okay, so he's going for the stripe first. This is a much more difficult shot, but it allows him to go ahead and get the 8 out. I hope he doesn't hit it too hard and make the 8 into the corner on this shot. Okay, I thought, again, it looked like he was going for the other corner to me. Yeah, I'd like to seen what he had drawn up in his head on that shot. I'm sure it was good. I just don't know what it was. And Abe's only trouble ball is that pink ball sitting on that 8 ball.
Abe plays out of Famous City Billiards back in Peoria.
They're about to be more famous if he keeps this up.
That's right. Well, keep in mind, we haven't, he's kind of been on and off in the 8-ball set. It's when we've switched to 9-ball that he has really excelled. So we'll see how he can fare in the first portion of this match.
It does seem like a lot of the really good players, really, really good players play a lot more rotation than they do 8-ball. And by rotation, I mean not just 9-ball, but 10-ball and games where you rotate from 1 to 2 to 3 to 4. He's taking care of that pink ball now into the side pocket, following the cue ball up. See, he's getting just the right angle on this ball to where he can pocket it and bring it over where he put his tip in the center there to make the 9 in the corner. After that, which makes it easy to get back onto the 8 from there. So we'll see if he gets his.
Mhm.
Okay. May have been focusing a little bit too much on shape when he pulled the trigger. That happens a lot of times when people miss the ball. Um,
Bring Mike Leigh back to the table.
and he should just hit this softly with a lot of right hand spin, and it makes the 3 in the corner, and he has the 5 in the same corner after that. I don't think he needs to hit low on it at all. Just a lot of right hand spin. I believe that. Yep, see, a lot of right hand spin, and it brings the cue ball out there for the 5. And he would have hoped that he would not be jacked up over this 10 like this. He'll probably still make it and have a shot back into this side pocket where the 10 is, but that does really make the shot a lot tougher.
All right, it sounds like we have concluded on table 5, and I believe it's Henry Brote moving on in that match
Yeah, looks like it.
by a score of 7-5. Henry defeats James Adams and eliminates him from this year's event.
This is still an awesome finish for James, right?
Absolutely.
And like I said earlier, he did not miss that because he hit it hard. He missed that because he had the wrong line. Yeah, he just raised his hand up in apology to Abe because he got a little bit fortunate that the 8 landed where it did and added to the difficulty to Abe. I'm not sure that it blocked the 9 from him. Apparently not, since he's watched the 8 really closely. If that moved, okay, it didn't. But
Well,
yeah, that's the throwing the balls like that around like that with your stick. I would not advise people to do that.
yeah.
I mean, he may be a good sport otherwise, but that's not indicative of a good sportsmanship. So I would suggest that people not do that.
A little frustration there
Yeah,
by Abe,
it
and that's,
is.
we've seen that a little bit
Mhm.
from him. But what we've also seen is
He comes back from
he
it,
does.
yeah.
He seems to respond well to his own, uh, frustration. But you're right. That's not obviously not what you want to see displayed in the match. But
Right. It's
so we'll see.
tough. It's tough out there. So much pressure on you. Um, yeah, some people think, well, I'll never miss that shot. But yeah, but you're not under the lights, so to speak.
Yeah.
You're not under all this pressure. And you've come a long ways to get to this point right here. You had to qualify, and
Yeah.
then you come here, you travel all this way. You get here, you play through all these people, many matches to get to this point under all this pressure. These short races to 7 that really put the pressure on you right off the bat, and you get to this point. It can be pretty frustrating when things don't. It makes it tougher to make the shots, and it's really frustrating when you don't.
Yeah, and it looks like Mike might have taken a short break here.
Mhm.
So interesting timing too. When your opponent is visibly frustrated and you take a little timeout, now opponent has to sit with the
That's
frustration.
common.
So that's
You'll see the pros do
Yeah.
that a lot when they know they're up. And I'm not saying Mike is doing that on
Sure.
purpose.
No,
Okay,
yeah,
okay,
right.
but you will see that a lot when your opponent is frustrated. When the pros opponent is frustrated, they just miss a easy shot or something. They'll choose that time to take a break to let
them
their
thinking
opponent
about it a little
steam
bit,
for a while.
marinate. So we'll
Yep.
see. The game within the game. Mike Leigh now with the break.
He didn't let him steam too long though. He came back pretty quickly. ball inside pocket, and looks like he has the three easy three into the side. And the only trouble I see is the one ball is right between the two stripes, and so he'll have to figure out how to get that out of there. And it's not the best start for this rack because it's not getting any easier from here. This is a tough rack from where he's sitting right now. What he may elect to do is just hit this 5 over to the right, the rail closer to us, and send the cue ball just rested up against that 11 over there, like this. A little hard. He hit that too hard, but he put the 5 where he needed, sort of where he needed to put it. I'd like to seen it further up the table where he could shoot it in the corner, but the idea was right, I think. Really short stroke. You see how short that stroke was, and that allows him to be able to make a really soft shot. What the mistake a lot of novices make is when they want to hit it really easy, they still take a long backstroke, and then you decelerate. It's really hard to control it. Make it a short, soft shot if you take a long backstroke. So when you're shooting a shot like he just shot, just a backstroke that's like less than your ferrule on the end of your stick there. Mm. That was almost a perfect shot. I mean, he was just a couple of paper widths away from it being perfect, which would have been to clip the edge of that 5 and have it touch the rail. That's all he wanted to do. Just to not give ball in hand to Abe. You never want to give a player of Abe's caliber ball in hand, because then he can either run out or maintain full control of the table.
Abe trying to plot a course here.
He may be able to. He's playing the. He was. I guess he was playing the three-way combo after that shot. Yeah, looks like it. Looks like it's lined up for him over there. I thought he would try to disturb them, but if they're lined up perfectly for a three-way combo, you can shoot it in there. This may be a pretty long game because of the way they're set up. Neither guy wants to make many of his own balls. See, he was not trying to make that ball. He's just getting it out there.
Yeah, the pace of this match is definitely slowed. It'll be interesting to see which one responds best to, because we've seen both these guys play relatively quickly, in particular Abe. All right, so they're telling me that Brian Parks and Henry Brote will be kicking off here momentarily on table 5. You can catch that match over on our YouTube channel. That's youtube.com/APA Leagues. You got about 8 titles between those.
That's what I was about to say.
5-timer versus
titles.
a 3-timer. One of them's going to be going home, so
yeah.
that should be an outstanding matchup. It's a tough one to call there. Parks and Brote.
Oh, that was almost a really nice shot, but I think, and that's what he's looking at now. Did I get him? Did I get him? I don't think he did. He may have. But I think he can use a little bit of spin, low right, and make this 7 into the side pocket if he chooses to do that. But he may not want to do it because he can't run out from there necessarily. He's got to have some way to get this 5 over right above the race to 7. There's a 5 sitting there that's trouble. So a lot of strategic play going on here for a while until these guys can figure out how to get to a point where they can run out. Now, he could take a stab at it right here. If he pockets this 14, I think it is, into the corner, he could, with just a little above center, with a kind of hard hit, he could, not like that, though, I don't believe, maybe there, he could send it and disturb those balls like that.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. When he first addressed it, I didn't think it was going to get there, but then he changed a little bit, and it was going to send it into those balls. That was one excellent shot right there. If he chooses to make this 10 in the side pocket right now, I don't think I would. I'd go ahead and make the ball that's in the corner next to his hand. But if he chooses to make this, then he runs in. See, he ran into the 7 ball, and that was the purpose of that was to try to just hold the cue ball there for the 12 ball, for the stripe he's about to hit anyway. Twelve, 13, 8 in the side. All right. Yeah, I think I'd have to go all the way to the other side and shoot this or get a bridge out. Yeah, definitely a bridge. Hit it in the center of the 13 ball with just a little bit of left hand English, top left on it. Yeah. He wants to shoot it behind his back, but
He's very flexible, as we've seen
he
throughout the
is
event. He can stretch and contort
flexible,
himself.
animated.
He's fun to watch.
Yeah, he's really into the game.
Just,
I'm
young.
enjoying watching him play. There we go. And he chose to not, and he didn't need it. I thought he needed just a shade of left-hand English, but he just hit slightly above center, and that was perfect to get where he needed to be. Nice.
All right. Abe back to even.
He took his stick and hit it on the ground. You know, it's like, yes, I got that.
All right, so we'll see
Good
one more
shoot.
game of 8-ball, and then we'll switch over to the 9-ball set. Probably the perfect time to remind you folks we got a bonus match going on. Henry Brote, Brian Parks over on our YouTube channel. That match just underway. Looks like Brian Parks out to an early 1-0 lead there.
Got a lot of comments on the stream, don't we?
Lots of folks tuning in.
Yeah.
What's the stream talking about? Let me guess. Brian Parks shouldn't be allowed. And what else?
You never heard that before, have you, Jason?
Well, I'm sure it's in there somewhere. But look, just because you win an amateur event does not necessarily suddenly make you ineligible to play as an amateur after that. So. And the other thing I'll point out is I don't know many pro players that are traveling across the country for several days to play in an event that has no prize money. So I'll leave it at that in terms of the Brian Parks debate. That ought to fire some of our commenters up a little bit.
Yeah. Hey to Ryan Guttridge, buddy up in North Alabama.
You know, I don't know. I don't know that I've ever seen Brian and Henry match up. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure they have at some point, but thinking back over all the years of this competition, I've yet to.
I don't know.
One doesn't come to mind, so that's a. You talk about bonus coverage. It doesn't get any more bonus than that one.
I
Pretty
know.
good matchup over there.
How can Brian and Henry be bonus
Man.
coverage? But yeah, it's a big time bonus right there. Yeah, if I was sitting at home watching this, I would have three
Split
screens
screen
up. Yeah, I'd be watching all three. But I also use YouTube TV, and I'll have like 7 screens up or 8 screens up at one time.
Well, it's interesting here, Richards. We might be seeing the next generation of
Yep.
great U.S. Amateur Championship players. Mike and Abe here, younger guys. Abe very quickly takes a 3-2 lead, and we're going to move into the 9-ball set. And you know what we've seen from Abe in the 9-ball set, right?
Yeah.
Hurricane time,
Yeah.
Hurricane Abe.
He is, but Mike's a shooter too, and he'll jump in there if he gets a chance. He can just run them on out too. APA champs.
I'm gonna make sure we give a shout out to our streaming sponsors, friends over at Pool Dog. If you go to pooldog.com/APA champs, they got some different offers and things for our viewers. Those offers will come in handy as we move into the holiday season here. As you're picking out all your Christmas gifts for the pool players in your life, be sure to give them a visit. They've also got a great Facebook page. If you haven't checked out Pool Dog's Facebook page, a lot of great content over there. I would encourage you to give them a like. Maybe drop them a comment on their page thanking them for the coverage. I know they would appreciate that. Abe ready to break here in the 9-ball set. Again, we'll see potentially up to 8 games of 9-ball, depending on how this race goes. Looks like you got the 2-ball in the break there. Questions about the format. U.S. Amateur Championship is a double elimination event up until the final round, which is an extended race to 11. So once we get to the finals, it's single elimination, race to 11, as opposed to the race to 7 you see here. One of these two players we will see in the final round, as this is the hot seat match. The loser here will play the winner of the Brian Parks Henry Brote matchup. They're telling me they are now tied 1-1, Henry Brote and Brian Parks. So the benefit to the winner of this particular match is they get to take a little time off and maybe grab something to eat, relax a little bit, while the others duke it out in the next round.
Yeah, you need to take advantage of that when you can in tournaments.
It's interesting, though, how many times I see the winner of the hot seat match going to the finals only to lose to the same guy that they played, or girl. We saw it in the ladies' event, you know. Lisa Cassette took her first loss to Melinda Hong in the hot seat match, came back and won it in the finals. I've seen that a couple of times with Brian Parks' titles. He gets knocked to the loser side in that round and comes back. So there's something to be said for continuing to play, I guess, versus sitting and getting a little cold. But it's all about how you handle it.
Yeah. Yeah, that happened to me the year I got second. I had to sit for quite a while in Atlanta. And then Bill beat me 11-8, but he was constantly playing one match after the next. Y'all did allow me to warm up some before my match, but still, he was a lot more warm than I was. He was also tireder than I was, too, from playing so many matches.
Once again,
Very good shooting.
Hurricanes
Like you,
brewing.
hey, you called it.
9-ball set. Abe very quickly takes the first game. 4-2 lead for him. Needs just 3 games to advance to the final. That hashtag starting a trend again. Whichever one of our commenters came up with that, you better trademark it quickly before we put it on a t-shirt.
This is Abe up to break here. We'll see how hard he hits it. Watch this cue ball pop up in there, probably. Yeah, just a little bit. Put the brakes on it with a little bit of top. Gets good shape into the corner pocket.
Got the 8 in the side.
Yeah, does he have that? Where's the 2
He
go?
had something else there. What else did he get there?
Yeah, he doesn't.
7-ball.
This is a little touchy getting the cue ball where that's why he's got this extra time he's taking here, because he knows he might want to walk around and check it out right there. That's where he needs to be. So he'll pocket this in the corner and bring the cue ball back just a little bit and make it come off of the side rail and then back out for the 2 in the corner. Yep, right in there. I really like this, that he's looking that over, because too many times people don't do that, and what do they say about a lack of failure to plan is planning to fail, and he is planning to succeed here, and I like to see that. Chris Holtzclaw wants to know, why does everyone break from the corner for 9-ball? I found a center break far more effective and easier to control. They used to do that back in the sort of the heyday of 9-ball. They broke really close to the center and just crashed them hard. And what they found out over the years, that if you break from the side like these guys are breaking, that the wing ball is more apt to go into the corner pocket on the same side that the cue ball is starting from. So that's why. And a lot of times you can put the 1 ball also to where his stick is right now, into that side pocket. So that's why. That's one reason why. Another reason why is when you do the center break and the way you're talking about doing it, many times people would scratch in the side pocket.
All right.
So people got away from that.
Abe Shaad up.
Tired of the same old when you're
5-2.
buying billiard supplies? Come shop with the big dogs at PullDog.com. You want pull cues? We've got over 700. Balls, cases, accessories, no problem. Want help with your game? How does hundreds of free training articles sound? Want to shop offline? We'll mail you a free catalog. Hit us up online, PullDog.com, or call 866-843-3294.
Okay, what I was talking about a moment ago is, see the pink ball? He's expecting to make that pink ball in the right corner up there, and maybe the 1 ball in the side pocket on the left. And he was blocking it a little bit, but I do believe the ball went in. He is the most animated player I've ever seen. Oh.
He does not hide his emotions.
Not at all.
At all.
Yeah, can we look at that? Thanks. So I'm wondering, yeah, he's having to follow this up. If he was a little bit if the cue ball were a little bit to the left, it'd be just easy to get on the two. But now he's got to follow up and have a little bit longer shot on the two. So he got over there and looked at. I think he's a little bit closer to us with the cue ball than he really wanted to be. But I think he can still see the two. Controlling the cue ball though may be tough, and it was, and so he went ahead and tried to play a safety, I think, and it looked like everything kind of died on him. Somebody said, Tyler Jasper said, he moves around just like Justin Bergman to me. It is sort of like that, but it's not as much swagger, seems like, as Justin has. It's kind of a side-to-side dipping kind of thing, Justin. Justin seems to be really one confident fellow, but he may have not gotten that on the back of the 5 and the 6 the way he wanted to, but this is still tough. I do expect Abe to make this, but it is really tough. Yeah, anytime you're jacked up over a ball and you got a kind of straight in shot like this, you've got to be super accurate on hitting the center line of the cue ball, the vertical center line of the cue ball. Else it goes offline quickly for you. But as good as this young man shoots, I expect him to fall through the center of that ball and pocket this. Yep, just as he did. And from here, it's fairly easy to run out. Just don't come too far down and hook yourself by that. He doesn't want to come any further than that. A little shorter will be acceptable, but any further than that, he hooks himself. So be really careful. But he's been really good with his speed. This time he might have gone too far. No, he's okay because he stayed away from the 7 a little more. That's a good shot there. Yeah, I bet there's not many people that compete with this young man in his local room, you know.
I'm amazed with the speed in which he shoots. I mean, we watched Allen from Canada yesterday and thought he looked quick, but Abe is on a whole nother level, just circling and circling and circling. Just doesn't waste much time.
He's not always like that. He's like that when it makes sense to do that, because there's other times when he really needs to. He's got to be more precise with the cue ball placement and stuff, and he gets around there and so he's playing the way you're supposed to play pool, I think.
He's one game away from the finals, folks. He is one rack away from advancing to the final round of this tournament.
Guaranteed second place if he wins this next game, right? Guaranteed second at a minimum.
Yeah. And he'll have the opportunity to wait for an opponent. Of course, the loser of this match will play the winner of the Brian Parks-Henry Brote showdown ongoing on table 5. Brian has taken a 2-1 lead in that match. I would imagine that match will be very tight up until the end. Be very surprised if it doesn't go hill or close to that. And here we've got Abe Shaad.
And he'd be happy just to
make
the 9 on the break. Now we expect that 5 ball to fire up into the right-hand corner, and it did not.
Yeah, he didn't get that
the 2 almost
either. Yeah, so dry on the break there. Mike Leigh will have another opportunity here, but that window is quickly closing, I think. Abe nearly flawless here since we've gone to the 9 ball.
And he's starting his run with a combination. At least he does have a shot, so he'll want to make this and maintain control of the table for the rest of the match. And he has it in him. I've been watching him play. He's been on the stream here, and he can do this. It's not over yet.
Well, and pretty much any one of these guys, especially at this point in the tournament, capable of putting together several racks if the opportunity is there.
he came off of once he came off of that rail on the end, he's in line, all the way up to the when it ended. And now I can just pocket this and let it come over to our right a little bit for shape. Now he'll want to follow this up about to the second diamond there to get the right line to pocket this in the side up just a little more. Yep. And now I can easily get onto the 7 ball. Following it up all the way to the end rail, and then as it comes off of the end rail, it's in line for a long way. See how it's in line tracking toward that 7? You'll see that a lot when players just pick a point on a rail and they say, once I come off the rail right there, I'll be in line. You got a long landing strip when you do it that way. And if you watch a lot of streams with listening to my commentary, you'll hear me say that a lot, but it's just such an important thing. Too many people don't do that. They go across their line. He went ahead and opted for the easier shot but he'll go ahead and put this in firmly with a little bit of draw left. It'll hit just a little bit short of the cue ball will hit a little bit short of the corner pocket up there on the corner, left corner. Hit this firm. Yep.
Mike not ready to concede anything
No.
here. Cuts into that lead. Now trails by 3 games.
That's a good start for him.
This race to 7.
Just needs to keep this up for 4 more games, and he'll be the one guaranteed second place. Or better.
Enjoying the coverage here, I'd encourage you to like our Facebook page. You get notifications of content like this when we go live.
I see the viewership growing here as we get closer to the finals.
Scratches on the break there.
Yeah, you need to keep it to the right. If you're breaking from the right, you need to kind of keep the cue ball in the center or right of center. You let it go that direction, and it will go in the side pocket over there a lot.
Pocketed the 3 ball on the break.
I'm curious if he'll make this and rub that 7 a little bit just to get it in just slightly. Yeah. See, that's a much better position for the 7 ball.
Abe taking a little more time here. Again, trying to
He's
kind of lay out that course that he wants.
This is what I was talking about earlier.
Finish this here.
When it's all just academic, it's just all laid out for him. It's no big deal. But when he knows that he's got to land in some specific places to complete the run out, then he takes the appropriate time to figure it out and plan and then execute.
In the corner.
It's nice. I'm not sure if he got he's a little off angle, so he's got to go to the side rail first, and then down to the end rail, I believe. Yeah, like that. But I think he would have preferred to not have to do that if he'd have had just a little bit different angle. Easy shot. Just naturally float this back up for the 9 ball in the corner.
Oh.
I don't know if that ball skidded or what, but was not. Neither one of us was expecting him to miss that one.
No. I was expecting that we would have one of our finalists selected at this point, but
Yeah.
Mike Leigh, again, another opportunity.
The tough part here, though, is getting the cue ball back to the 9 because he looks pretty straight in and he's close to the rail, so it's hard to dig in and draw the ball. And if he had a little bit more angle, then it'd be easy to get it back down there. So he may have to jack up, dig in, get in here, and no, he's going forward. That may die. Yeah, there we go. I think jacking up and drawing it back may be better. I don't know if he can get the cue ball back. If he puts top on it, it may just die down at this end. Yeah, he did about as good as you could do with top on that one. I was a little worried that it would come off the end rail and then still have the top on it and then kind of work its way back to the rail and just be down there in no man's land. But he played it very well from where he was sitting. Something I noticed there on that shot is that his elbow, his last 3 strokes kind of moved over a little bit, and I think that might have been what caused him to miss that shot. Just he stayed down there and kind of got himself out of line. This will be for the win.
That's it. Abe Shaad moving on to the finals, folks. Guarantees himself a seat there. He will await the winner between Brian Parks and Henry Brote and Mike Leigh. So we'll see if Mike gets a chance to square off with him again once again in the finals. We'll have to wait and see, but congratulations to Abe Shaad. Moving on to the final round. Appreciate you folks joining us, and again, thanks to our friends at PoolDog.com for helping us to bring you all of the coverage here from this year's U.S. Amateur Championship. We'll be back in just a little bit with continuing coverage, so stay tuned.
Yeah, I love that they're there sitting.
They're going over everything that went wrong in that match.
Exactly. But that's the camaraderie that I've been talking about, and for the most part, the really good sportsmanship.
Yeah.
I love it.
Little bro hug there by them. So again, we may be seeing these guys in the finals. Abrin Shaad.
Yep.
He's got his spot already reserved. It's a matter of can Mike Leigh get through the winner of the Parks Brote match. So again, if you guys are looking for extra coverage, can't get enough of this, hop on over to our YouTube channel. You'll see Henry Brote and Brian Parks. Winner going on to face Mike Leigh for a shot in the final. So we'll be back in just a bit, folks. Thanks for joining.